What's up, my boys and girls? All right, so uh, I'm gonna show you guys a quick video of the trade that we took today, and it was a beautiful trade, right? We made over $600. Like yesterday, we were at 49,600, right? And now 600 or 700, and then today we ended the day with 50,306, right? So with that being said, it was a beautiful trade today. We went a bit earlier than usual, and I'll explain why in this video. And yeah, as you can see, the trade played out super well, right? I took partials at -2. If I didn't take partials at -2, if I just let it run, I believe the trade would have been at 50,700. But because I used partials, I only let like 20% to keep running, so that's why the RR is just 600. But with that being said, right, it's good. I'm happy because we are out of that drawdown mistake that we made. If you watch the previous video, you'll know what mistake we made that made our account lose over $1,000, right? But yeah, we are back at break even and a bit of profits, right? All right, so without any delay, let's go into the replay. All right, going back into replay, right? We actually was looking at 9:30, right, at market open. The reason was because I wanted to test out another theory that I had. I will show you the theory in a while in this video. If you stick till the end, you will get to know another I will say a hybrid version of this strategy. All right, so but with that being said, right, this is the hybrid version is more like I saw someone trade it that way and I felt that it was the exact strategy like mine, but a little bit different, right? So I implemented that to this strategy and created a hybrid of that. All right, okay, without being delaying this whole video, let me just go straight into the market. So it was 9:30, right? I already marked out all this, but I was in the decision that I'm only going to trade at the start of the new 4-hour candle. I'm not going to trade anything before that, right? The new 4-hour candle will start at 10 o'clock, right? I was thinking that, and I was seeing the market going higher and higher and higher, and it tapped this 5-minute gap, right? And I was like, okay, it looks good because it's creating bullish fair value gaps, right? So it wants to go up and it's tapping. It looks good to me, but even then I didn't want to take this setup. And then right after that, I saw this 15-minute overlapping 5-minute, and you guys know if you have two time frames that are overlapping fair value gaps, right, that is a very, very good indication that it's a strong zone, right? So I was waiting for it to tap into this 5-minute. I actually had some kind of SMT here, but I didn't. I was waiting for a setup, but no setup was formed, so I deleted that. I deleted this 5-minute and this 5-minute since it's already inside the 15-minute gap, right? I was waiting for a setup, and I had an SMT right about here with ES somewhere around here, right? Let me just take a look. Yeah, that was the exact thing that we had, the SMT there. We had a CISD, we entered here. We had our stops below here, right? And we aimed about a 1:2. Let me take a look. Did I aim a 1:2? It was somewhere like this. Yeah, correct. So we aimed about 1:2. That was like a 2.5 risk to reward, right? Sorry, we aimed at the -2 level and it was like 1:2.56 reward, right? My break even point was literally at this line over here, right? And we were waiting. It was playing around a little, right? The reason why I took this trade, right, today was CPI, and as you know, CPI day moves are going to be super volatile. Not every time you're going to get a setup and all that, right? So I saw this consolidation phase right here, and I was like, wait, is this consolidation? Is it a good consolidation? I was thinking like that. At this point of time, you can see, right, the 4-hour candle literally forming a wick, right? So this goes against every single thing that I trade. Like, I'm not supposed to see a wick when I'm entering off the trade, but there was a reason that it gave me confidence to go up, right? The reason is because of this, right? these two indicators actually showed me that, all right, the price is actually still pushing higher, right? It's still going up like this, and all that is showing me that. So what I did was I decided to take a buy, right? I decided to risk it a little, right? Because since we're already in drawdown, what are we going to risk more of, right? So I just risked it. And as you know, the next candle just pushed up straight to break even. I said break even, and I believe the candle actually went down a little, but ultimately went all the way up, right? And look at this level right here, right? This 2 to 2.5 level. Look at what happens right after it sweeps there. It just reverses, right? So that was a good trade. That was a good trade. And we had another setup here, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So this was the second setup that I was looking at. And not going to lie, I was about to take it because this was after 10, right? And you see this was the wick and all that. So this was a setup that I wanted to take, but something was not right. What was that, right? You see price tapped. We had SMTs here, right? We had SMTs with ES, and oh wait, not here. Yeah, somewhere here we had two candle SMTs, right? Yeah, and then oops. Then I wanted to take the trade, and I was like, wait, do I have SMT? Was this the one? Ooh, I thought we had SMT. Alright, so that was mistake on my part. Cool. Alright, but either ways, right? I thought we had SMT. So I was wrong. Oh, no, yeah, we had SMT. Right? One is going lower and one was going above. Right? Yeah, cool. So we had SMT, and I wanted to take this trade, but the only thing that stopped me, right, was I hate this. I hate seeing this. Let me just use the order box. You see this green thing that I just indicated, right? That's a volume imbalance, right? I like candles closing above. If that happened, I would have took this trade, but the candle didn't close above. Instead, it opened above. So this is something I don't like, and I would never trade, right? Because as you can see, right, if we were to take the entry off of this, or even if we took a retest, right? Let's take a look what happens. We did get a retest, but look at what happens next. It just drops down. It melts down, right? Because of the volume imbalance. So this is something that you may want to, take in consideration of your strategies. All right. So this right now, I'm going to teach you the hybrid. All right. Please backtest this. It's not proven. It's not something that I do always. Today was the first day I tested it. All right. So at 9:30 open, right? When 9:30 opens, right? By right is after this 9:30 candle, right? 9:30 a.m. New York time, right? Okay. So once this opens, right, you find for a 15-minute fair value gap. Okay, but in this case, we didn't get a fair value gap. This was the fair value gap. All right, this is the current fair value gap that's being formed that we are supposed to use. But instead, I wanted to test whether it works before it, right? So you see this fair value gap. All right, cool. Once you see this fair value gap and the price steps into it, you drop to the 1 minute. All right, so this is the first step. Next, draw a line across. You need liquidity to be swept. All right. So in this case, liquidity got swept, and you see an up candle, right? What I want to see is a break of this up candle, right? I'll put a stop loss below, and I'll just aim a 1:2, right? And look at that. We actually hit a 1:2, right? So I was just testing this out. It's not proven yet. If you want, you can test it out, right? And look at what happened next. The same 15-minute candle, we are still going down, right? We swept, right? Let's look at this, right? We just need a break of the top candle. I mean the bottom candle. We have a break, right? We put a stop loss here, right? You can set your break even at 1:1, or you can aim any highs that you want, And let's look at this, and look at that, bam. And that is a 3.4, right? 1 is to 3.4. This would have capitalized so much money. It doesn't matter if it closes below, etc., right? You just need a 15-minute fair value gap, a first tap, a second tap to sweep, and then once it sweeps, even this candle, you can find a break. Let me show you. Right, you can find a break above this, right? Next candle, it doesn't break above, so you just move to the next candle, breaks above. All right, cool. 1 is to 1, you set break even, right? Let's say it just decides to go lower, right? Same thing, just wait for a break of the candle. The moment it breaks the candle, not even the close, the break, right? Enter the trade and aim the nearest high, or you can even aim whatever high you want, right? Normally I just aim the nearest high and we'll still get a good trade. And look at this, it's still going up, man. Yeah, so with that being said, I hope you guys learned something in this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, save this video if you want, and hope you guys learned something cool today. All right, with that being said, peace out.